Right, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this one, I have actually recorded the whole video already, and it's about my greenhouse, my seedling update, and a bit of a view around the vegetable garden. But I just went to edit it, and the introduction I already made outside had no volume, so I need to figure that out. But yes, I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, and I'll let you watch the video. Right, so this is the setup currently. It is finally starting to really spring up. There's quite a lot growing at the moment. One thing I've noticed though that the scarred flies, like the fungus gnats, have gone pretty crazy over the past couple of days. So I did bring in my Pinguicula to try and catch some of them. It's not caught any yet, so maybe I'll get some nematodes. Okay, but let's start with the chilies and the peppers and the tomatoes. These were the ones that you guys that I've been posting about. These are the King of the North. You can see now that the few that I potted up later than these three or these two I potted up first a lot sooner, like 2 weeks before these guys, and you can see they're finally catching up. The color's still not fully there. I don't know if you can tell on screen, but this is really green, and then these are they've got a slight yellow tinge. You can also see where the leaves are curling, and this is usually where it's getting a bit too much light, and it's trying to protect the the leaves. They're trying to protect themselves from getting burnt. Yeah, you can see it here as well. And then the tomatoes they've pretty much all caught up with each other. There was, God, I can't remember, 2 or 3 that I potted up sooner than the others, and they've all really caught up. This one is actually growing a lot bigger than the rest, and it might just I can't really tell, but it might just be starting to get its first truss. Um, so these are Tiny Tim. So these are just like oh, there's a first truss there. Let me try and grab those. Try not to damage. You can just see there's some flowers on the tip of that and one of my hairs. um, this is a variety that grows only about about 20 centimeters tall. So I'll be keeping those indoors anyway. But they've absolutely shot up over the past couple of weeks. Again, there's still like a bit of yellowing, but that's only on that one. I'm not too worried about it. I did give one of these to my brother. There was 6. Now there's 5. Yeah, okay, let's move on from there. My spring onions are just looking a bit like that. I was thinking of putting them out in the garden, like in the greenhouse, maybe today, because it's really warm outside now. I don't know if you can. The garden's an absolute state, but there is sunshine. Um, yeah, my basil all died. It dried out, and I just did not get around to watering it. This is not a vegetable. This is the stackies. There's only one surviving, so I'm just going to take that out into the garden. Here I've got some French marigolds. These have come up pretty okay, but I mean that half has not come up very well. There are fungus gnats everywhere. Like the more I disturb the stuff, the more I'm noticing them. Jesus. Yeah, you can just see them. Red onions, again, they did pretty terrible. There's only 4 in there. I'll probably still try and plant them out. Whoa, look at the flies. Oh, this is bad. But yeah, they didn't come up too well. Then here I sowed my cucumbers. I literally sowed these 2 or 3 or maybe 4 days ago now. I can't remember. But they've come up so quick. And I was thinking, just because, what is it, end of March now? So by the end of April, which gives these a month, they'll then be, I think, hopefully ready to go out into the greenhouse. So I think that's going to be fine. I'm going to have to pot them up once or maximum twice indoors until they're ready to go out. But I'm really happy with those. That is a variety called, nope, I didn't write it down. But it's a female variety, like a self-fertile variety that's very highly spoken of. So I thought I'd give it a try. Next up, we've got some grasses in here that haven't come up yet. And then we've got the tomatoes. I finally sowed the tomatoes. So we've got beefsteak variety, and 4 of them have come up. And then I've sown Alicante, but none of those have come up yet. But again, this was only 3 or 4 days, so I'm not worried. And then I have my Cosmos, so just white Cosmos, which is like a double flowered variety, and then a double flowered pink variety, and they come up within 2 days, and I'm very happy with how they're looking. I just need to be really careful. I might raise them a bit. I just don't want them to get too leggy, and Cosmos are very prone to get leggy. So I might raise them up on something just so they're a bit closer to the grow light. And then I have here, I'm just going to drip. These are Tagetes. No, yeah, Tagetes. Let me check the label actually because I've been sowing marigolds and Tagetes. Okay, no, so it's just French marigold. They need to be potted on individually, but they started to flower, so I've pinched off the flowers and I've just left them there. But yeah, this is, what's the date today? This is the 26th of March, and everything is growing really, really well. I want to resow the basil, and then I've got a load of seeds that I'm going to be sowing within the next couple of weeks. I'll actually show you what they are, so I'll go grab those now. Right, okay, so what I'm going to be sowing either this week or next week, I've got some mixed lettuce, headed mixed. Last year we grew lettuce and it actually grew so well. We were harvesting lettuce pretty much from late spring to maybe midsummer, end of summer maybe, but it did really well. This is just mixed variety, and that'll be good. So I might sow it indoors or sow it straight outdoors. I'm just having so many issues in the greenhouse with stuff eating the seedlings. Sunflowers, I'm going to probably sow those this week or next. Like I said, I'm going to sow my basil again. I'm going to sow a lot more French marigolds because I've not really got that many, and I've got quite a lot of. Marigolds just such a good thing to fill gaps with, so I want to make sure I've got loads. The sweet peas that have been eaten twice now, as you guys would have seen. I've got, I think I've got, there's 4 seeds left in there, so I'll sow those again, but I think I might keep these indoors this time. And then I'm going to sow lobelia, and yeah, the rest of these are just kind of bedding plants. So, and then I've got my alyssum, so I've got the mixed color and then the white, so I'm going to sow those. I might sow them direct out in the greenhouse because I'm really struggling for space in here. And then I've got cineraria, and I'll sow that as well. I want to sow I've got courgettes and squashes to sow. I want to sow leeks. I've got sweet corn, but I'm going to wait a little bit before I sow any of that. I don't actually know when is the right time to sow the sweet corn, and I'm not doing it direct outside. I'll do it probably indoors until they get about this tall, and then I'll take them out just so that any mice don't dig them up, because I can't deal with that again. It's happened twice now. Um, cool, yeah, so that is that, and I might finish the video out in the garden. Right, so the garlics are doing so well, and there was a big clump of garlic where so basically all these garlics I'd harvested from last year, and then I just re-sowed the bulbs of the leftover crop from last year. So I had left a couple, you can see here, I don't know how well you can see that actually, but there's a huge clump of garlics where I obviously not dug that garlic up. So I dug up one of those yesterday. It wasn't yesterday, a couple of days ago. And then I sowed another line. So they've all got really healthy roots on them. I gave them a really good water in, and hopefully they should grow just as quickly as the ones that have been planted since last, what was it, November, October. But they're doing really well. I don't see any signs of rust yet, which is good because I was quite worried that these guys would get rust really quickly because the garlics had rust last year, but actually they didn't get rust until the kind of late summer, no, midsummer probably. But yeah, these are doing really well. So I'm happy with these, and I check the moisture every now and again, and just under the surface is pretty damp, so they're not too dry, which is good. But obviously in the summer I'll water these, make sure they don't get too dry. Just because I think that really ensures that you're going to get nice big bulbs. Cool. And I've obviously got the other half of this vegetable bed. I don't know if you can see me, but the other half, I don't know what I'm going to plant there yet. Probably, maybe the sweet corns, but I'm just going to be quite I'm worried about the fertility of the soil because I'm not planning on adding too much organic matter, just to keep the cost down, but let's see how it goes. Right, so here we've got the seedlings that I've been updating you guys on semi-frequently. Right, so the sweet peas, where are they? They grew really well, and then I checked them again yesterday. No, was it today? They were about an inch tall. There was only two that were about an inch tall, but they'd all been eaten again. So you can see here, there's one that's just been eaten again. That one, yep, eaten again. So I've got two coming up here, which are some of the leftover seeds that I sowed the first time they got eaten. And I'm going to bring these two indoors just because this variety I bought specifically because I really like the color. And if I've only got 4 seeds left indoors, I kind of want to bring these in so that I can ensure I at least get some flowers. And then the chard, as you guys know, last time it all got eaten. It's all come up again and they've been disturbed once again. So you can see like this one's not really in there properly. I don't want to bring these in. I might just try and figure out a way to keep them protected in here. And then here we've got my red cabbages. I've only got 3 and a bit left because they got eaten as well. But this little guy he's growing another leaf, so I reckon he'd be all right. So I probably want to transplant these pretty soon, get them into their own pots. And then the curly kale is coming up nicely, and the straight kale is also coming up nicely. I'm just so worried that they're just going to get eaten. But yeah, so that's those. That's everything that I've got sown in here. Well, I do have some. These are not coming up yet, but these are chives. And then nothing else going on over there. My carnivorous plants are doing okay. They're not doing masses at the moment. They're just sending up flowers. But yes, that's that. These are the quad grows that I was telling you guys about before. So it's just a self-watering system. So there'll be a wick that goes from the pot down through that hole into the water reservoir. You fill up the water reservoir here, and that should really help me this year. I'm not going to keep them where they are. I think I'm going to keep that one there, and that one on the back. I'll just move this one somewhere else. But yeah, it comes with all the wicking systems, everything you need for it. Obviously, I've heard a lot of good things about it. That's why I'm growing them, using them. But I just cannot wait to get the peppers into here. And so I'm thinking I'll probably do like 4 peppers, 2 cucumbers, and then tomatoes probably. But then that leaves me loads of space in these beds for other stuff. I have sown in here 3 rows of beetroots, which I'm really worrying they're going to get eaten. Let me move this out of the way. Yeah, so let's just wait and see what happens with this. But I sowed 3 full rows down here, and I've given them a good water today. Here's 2 of my citrus. I don't think I showed this previously, but this one here is a Tahiti lime, which has, yes, lots of new growth coming on here. And then next to that is what variety is it? Maya's lemon. There was a lemon on there when I first bought it. You can see it down the bottom, but it fell off in the winter. A lot of damage happened in the winter, but now we've got some good weather. Pretty confident it's going to come back just fine. And then you can see there a little blossom is a cherry tree, a cherry bush, which I need to plant, but I haven't planted it out yet. And then this bed, you can see carrots coming up. Really not sure what my plan is with those, because by the time they actually start to get to any substantial growth, I'm going to need to plant other plants in here, like my tomatoes and cucumbers. So I'm not really sure, and I'm not wanting to transplant them at all because they do not transplant well.
I mean, they transplant well. You're just not going to get any straight carrots. So, oh, here's one of my dead sweet peas. Yeah, look, here they are. There you go, lovely and healthy. And another one, so annoying. And I've got some lupins in here, which were grown from seed last year. I just need to plant them out. Don't know where they're going to go either. And then I've got my parsley, which is all going to flower. And then my even bigger parsley here, which I can't even get far back enough, but that is going to flower as well. We're going to harvest that and dry it all because, as far as my understanding is, they flower and then they die. Not sure whether they will divide at all, but yeah, I'm going to harvest all of that, dry it, and then store it dried so that we can use it. Yeah, there's my garlics down there. And my other vegetable patches over there. Let's go take a look. So I've got the two vegetable patches here. One there, one there. This was the one that I did recently and I covered up. You can see there's weeds coming up everywhere, but I'll deal with that when it comes to planting. Then I've got this big veg patch here, which is covered in a lot of weeds, but I'll dig that over once I've got stuff to plant in it. And then here I've got a couple of leeks left over. This is where the parsnips were, parsnips and carrots, and we harvested loads from here. I definitely think we could have got more from it, but they did pretty well. This obelisk is not staying here. That's going to be going over there behind the banana. And then I've got loads of Swiss chard, which is from last year. I've actually been harvesting it a bit this year, but you can see it's quite it's past its best. But all the new growth coming through is going to be perfectly fine to eat. So I've been harvesting that as well. And I think my banana is going to be very ready to uncover probably now, to be honest, but I'm not going to do it yet.